Hey guys, Martin here bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today we got the details for the TEQ Super Saiyan 2 Gohan EZA. I did the breakdown video basically as soon as the details came out, and then I made this post as always to get your guys' thoughts on these new big ticket EZAs and releases and stuff, because I like to see what the initial response from the community is. Now, I've seen a lot of people, I think, underestimating this Gohan. A lot of people, I think, missing out on a couple of key factors, like the fact that he does stack both attack and defense on his 18 key super, with his 18 key super being a greatly raise. He also gets a hell of a lot, like percentage wise, when attacking, especially when you have the right allies for him, which obviously you will on the right teams, right? Like the Gohan and Trunks and Goten team, this guy's going to be crazy. And I think one of the things that they maybe took into account that I didn't really think about when I went over his details originally is the fact that if you're running him on that team, once you get to like basically turn 3 and you can exchange into Goten and Trunks, you can use their active skill to permanently buff all the youth allies, and then you can use the friends one on the next rotation. So from turn 4 onwards, every youth character on the team is getting a multiplicative 40% buff. So I think this guy is going to end up looking a lot better than people expect, but let's go ahead and take a look at what you guys had to say. So shout out to our boy Proton to start us off. I think he's good enough, a lot more versatile now. There's a window of opportunity for the enemy to hit really hard, but other than that, he's great. Yeah, so obviously first 4 turns he has damage reduction and guard. After attacking, his defense is going to be very high. You also have to bear in mind, like with characters on the team, there's a lot of support. Characters like Path to Power Kid Goku that give support as well as extra damage reduction. Like the early turns, I think this guy is going to be looking pretty good. I've seen a screenshot of him tanking an AoE from Rose, who already was about half damage. I don't know how many hits he's taken specifically to get buffs, but he took like 50k, and that's before attacking, so it's pretty good. So we'll see. Raudo, our boy, says he looks really good, but man, he has too much crit on him. Really wanted him to get some extra defensive touches, but they made him accurate to his initial release, a heavy hitter. I like him still. We'll see how good he'll be after his turn 4 defensive buff runs out. Yeah, he has a lot of crit, so I had to fully change the hidden potential for mine. I used a couple of stones and changed his orbs and stuff so that he is now majority additional and dodge. I think mine ended up at like 20 additional, 17 dodge, something like that. No crit other than the 5 he has for being a tech unit, because he's got so much crit built in. So it'll be interesting to see just how hard he can actually hit. I've seen some screenshots of like past turn 5 where he gets that extra buff, him dropping like 70 odd million, and he gets a guaranteed additional as well. So it's pretty good. Dr. Pritch, shout out to you as always. I really like him. The extra defensive abilities up front, and then an explosion of power post turn 5. With stacking, his active turn will be a nuke. Can't wait to take him into festival battles. Also, the Gohan, Goten and Trunks team is legit 1 or 2 places from being top 1 to 3 overall. I mean, I really think so. Like, this guy's crazy now. Their team has so many ridiculous hard hitters. I didn't even really know who to take off of their team to put this guy on, but I think I'll probably take off the Int Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, because obviously if we're having this guy, especially if we're going to have him on rotation, we don't want a floating unit with the same name. So then I guess I'll probably end up floating the LR Goten and Trunks, maybe. I don't know, the AGL one that got the Super EZA. But the team's looking pretty crazy right now. So Annie says, built for short content, has stacking for long content. They covered all bases. They turned his laughably restricted kit into a kit made for hybrids, who's now a must run. For how bad he could have been and what he is, a yellow coin LR, that's also true. It's a 10 out of 10 EZA. I mean, that's the other thing as well. Yeah, he is just a yellow coin LR. So we're not expecting him to get an EZA and be the best unit in the game. We would normally expect that if it was going to be like a Dokkan Fest or even a Carnival. Although, of course, we don't yet have any Carnival LR EZAs. But, like, we're expecting big things when it comes to those units specifically. So, yeah, I think this guy definitely seems solid, especially bearing in mind the expectation of him just being a yellow coin LR. And those changes to his passive to make him good for hybrids, making him the perfect addition to the Gohan, Goten and Trunks team, I think is very, very good. So our boy Prof says he looks solid. Guard and damage reduction only for 4 turns can make him pretty easy target for locking. But besides that, I'm fine with him. Don't get why he had to have a second passive within his passive though. This attacking with 18 key field is really funny. Most DB fans won't read that. Yeah, because that's the thing. He's got a thing when attacking with 12 key and then a thing when attacking with 18 key. And there's a lot of stuff in there. And all of that stuff is going to stack up. So post-attack, he is going to be looking very, very strong. Locking will definitely be an issue after those first 4 turns for sure. But locking is kind of the bane of many, many units at the moment. So that's can't hold that against him too much. Hungry says fantastic EZA, able to run him in all forms of content and is practically a must run on the youth setup. Yep, I would agree. Freezer's burner says they cooked, which yeah, true. I don't care says seems solid, but there's probably no use outside of the hybrid trio team. I mean, I think he'll be interesting on the Movie Heroes sort of setup with a Movie Heroes Goku, because if you think about running like the I was gonna say the blue Goku team, but obviously he's not on their leader skill. But like the Tech Gods are a movie unit whose name includes Goku. The AGL Gogeta from the 10th year is a Movie Heroes unit whose name includes Goku. So there's a couple of interesting options that you could run him on with some of these Power Beyond Super Saiyan or Movie Heroes teams. And those teams will always get buffs. We'll probably get a new Movie Heroes or Power Beyond Super Saiyan lead sooner rather than later. So I think that'll be perfectly fine for this guy to then be on that team with a Movie Heroes Goku in order to get the rest of the buffs. So yeah, I think that's pretty solid. Top 2 celebration of all time, says Sol. I really like this. I really like how this EZA hits the short event checklist and festival, and I foresee for this Gohan's active an exchange Cell Saga slash Goku slash Gohan down the pipeline would be a godly unit, just saying it sooner rather than later. I mean, I want to see the EZA for these guys, right? The What If Tech LR Gohan and Goku. I know they're not a Movie Heroes unit whose name includes Goku, but that unit I really, really like, and I'm looking forward to their EZA. It looks like it'll be crazy and super fun to use, says Jaren. I agree. Supreme 100, he's good, and he should be good in festival battles because he stacks on his 18 key. Yep, that is absolutely correct. Feels like a solid EZA. Shows they can alter conditions and stuff to make the unit better, which is a kind of annoying when they don't do that, right? Because they've completely changed it. It was all everything that was Movie Heroes Goku has now been changed to or Hybrid Saiyan or Youth. So exactly what he needed to get, basically. So very, very good, and definitely glad that they went ahead and did that for this unit. Will be a good addition within the hybrid trio, under the hybrid trio, maybe less so everywhere else. Also stacking W, yep. Dokkan, EZA with only stats, have not had a good history in Dokkan. It looks like he's only made for the short part EX difficult content. I mean, I guess it depends. Like I say, he stacks, and then on Super, he's getting like 318%. In fact, it might even be 418% defense. He gets an absolute insane amount of defense on Super. I think I have, let me get I have another window up open here. Let me just get the Dokkan page up again so I can bring up his passive. Yeah, so on 12 key, he gets 100% defense. On 18 key, he gets 159% defense twice from the different ally buffs, right? So that's 418% defense on Super, while stacking, and then he gets 10% attack and defense per orb obtained. So if he's got a decent, like, whatever defense he's got, not even start of turn, when you pick up the orbs for him, and then you go into the menu to check how much defense he's got there and then, he then gets 418% more when he super attacks. So with the stacking as well, like, that means if he gets up to, like, you know, let's say, even a number that, I don't know how highball this is, but for a stacker, it probably won't take very long. If he gets up to, like, 700k defense start of turn within the first couple of turns, right, plus 418%, means that post super he's at 3.6 million, plus the other greatly raise he would get from that super attack as well. So I mean, he won't be tanking the hardest hitting bosses in the game super attacks, but again, that's like 700k defense. He can probably get to that within the couple of turns, and then, like I said already, you've then got the multiple like Goten and Trunks buffs. So this guy should go crazy, even though he is just raw stats, but we will see. At least it's out of the way, so we can move on to other EZAs, says Zamasu. I mean, fair enough, but yeah, I think he's definitely going to be good for this team. F. Reese says, I was worried that they were going to forget about that restriction on his active skill, but now I'm not worried about it. So yeah, the active skill obviously is still restricted to a Movie Heroes Goku, because for whatever reason, with the way Dokkan code like works, they can't change an EZA condition or like what it does with an EZA. Because apparently, for whatever reason, it means it would change for the non-EZA'd version as well. I don't really know why that even matters, that it would do that. Because if you have the unit, you're just going to EZA them anyway. So why does it matter that your non-EZA'd version would have an updated active skill? I don't know. But his active skill is still locked to a Movie Heroes Goku, so we won't be able to use that on the Gohan, Goten, and Trunks team. But it'll be quite interesting to see in a festival run, like really far into an event, when you then use that active skill, he gets another big multiplicative attack buff. Like, he's going to hit insanely hard. So Sky says, looks very solid. Sure, he can't tank the hardest super attacks, but let's be real, who can? I mean, there's not many units in the game that can tank like fully built up Rose, for example. They adjusted the Goku requirement the same way they did for the extreme requirement in the Dork Super EZA. I can't wait to use him together with the new trio. Yeah, that team is going to be crazy. Weaver Class says, another strong LR EZA. Really happy they adjusted the Movie Hero Goku restriction. It was the one reason I was hesitant on this guy getting an EZA right now, which is exactly what I said in the breakdown video earlier, right? I was predicting this guy would get an EZA because he was kind of due one, and it's a Youth Hybrid Saiyan themed release, but having that Movie Heroes Goku thing would have really hurt like him as a release for now going on that team. But they just decided to completely fix that, which is obviously very, very good. The guard plus damage reduction being for 4 turns is a little upsetting. Wish he kept one of those mechanics, but still an 8.5 out of 10. Pretty good. Is it Albusi says, I wait till I see him in game. 30% damage reduction in guard for 4 turns is a bad joke. He needs 58% damage reduction in guard. I mean, I think with the stats that the calcs show that he can get up to, 58% damage reduction and guard on top of all of that would make him insane defensively, which would be good, obviously, don't get me wrong, but I think people are underestimating how good he'll be defensively. Ant says, good, but need a team to run him on. Don't have the new NLR Gohan. Yeah, that is unfortunate, because he is basically made for this thing, but... Zamasu, got another Zamasu. Don't care, gonna use the stones to summon for Rose before his banner is gone. Okay. This is one of those, like... It's one of those memes that, like, making sure I'm standing out meme. Because, like, I guess if you didn't have anything to say about Gohan's EZA, you didn't need to reply, I guess, but okay. Senzu Gang, finally runnable. Love to see his 12-key super attack animation more often. Yep, true. Fata Black says he looks solid. Slump God seems really solid. Gothkua, super class, yeah, you already know my opinion. Yeah, the Goku are double digits, not modded, no items. Attack lowering on Omega, insanely OP. I think the attack lowering on Omega... I don't know if the attack lowering on Omega is enough to make an off-lead awakened SR tank Rose for double digits, but... Sane Man seems really good for short content, but longer content he gets cooked unless he shocks me with how much defense he gets. Here's my Gohan build, and then the image isn't showing for some reason. Some attack and defense calcs, turn 1 and possibly turn 3 damage could be a little lacking, but yeah. Can we get any of these? Will any of these actually show? Are any of these defense? These are all super attack. Yeah, they're all just super attack. I think. Or are they? No, these are defense, I think. I don't know. It's hard to read these. Going to be a beast anytime before turn 4. Other than that, his stacking already help him in the long events after turn 4. Overall, great EZA. Yeah, I do agree. Prime example of how to do an EZA. Still keeps the spirit of the original kit, but makes him viable in all current content, while getting rid of the weird, unnecessary holes in his kit from before. Active condition aside, yeah, of course. Yep, I agree with that from Clem. Ichigo says, I really like him. If he had guard with the damage reduction, it would have been better, but it's fine. Well, he does have guard with the damage reduction, but they're both only for the 4 turns, right? Nagato says, honestly, I can't tell. At least his restriction allows him into youth and movie heroes. Yeah, we'll need to see. I mean, I can't wait to EZA him and obviously do the showcase. Subarashi Rose says, I don't think I ever felt an EZA shouldn't have happened, but I feel this is one. Not because they're bad, but this is a movie character, and despite the changes to his base kit, his active still wants a movie Goku on the team. I just feel this EZA is mistimed. It's probably just me. I mean, maybe it is, but I mean, you are right about the active skill, but I think the active skill just isn't going to make that much of a difference because of how good he is, like, for the most part, like the rest of the card and everything. Like, not being able to use the active skill on the Gohan, Goten and Trunks team obviously is a little bit disappointing, but it does seem like he is going to be good enough without it, so that it's not going to make a huge deal. And then T-Rope says, never a fan of conditional or temporary guard on a character, but overall he seems pretty good. Seems like he's going to hit like a truck, which I definitely agree with. So, gone through quite a few of the replies here. Make sure you guys let me know if you didn't get to see the tweet, or you didn't see your reply here, because maybe you replied and obviously then I recorded it, you know, or the other way around. I recorded it and then you replied before the video went up. So do let me know all your guys' thoughts on the TEQ Super Saiyan 2 Gohan EZA. We should get a data download tomorrow, which will give him the will give us the EZA weakness and everything. Obviously legendary power, but which category and everything. So I will do a video about that, of course. But let me know all your thoughts on Super Saiyan 2 Gohan's EZA down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.